G'day folks, Andrew here. Just going to give you a run through of setting up and getting the simulator operational. So just one point I'll make, most people should know this, but for those that don't, we have a stick here, and if you press the little red button on the wall there, that'll fire up the air conditioning, which is pretty important this time of year. Now, the system's shut completely down now. We have the desk computer there, and the 3 screens running the simulator and the cockpit itself. This system used to have 4 computers in this rack. It now only has 2. To turn it on, switch the power switch on the power board. You'll hear the simulator start coming up. The screens will start livening up. Now what we need to do is power on the 2 computers. So to do that, the first computer to turn on is this one. We 1/4 turn to the left, and there's a switch here for powering it on, which is up the top. Press that once, and then you can close that. The next computer down, we have a little rocker switch here. We'll just press that and let that fire up. So while those 2 computers are firing up, what we're going to try and do is turn on these screens. We have the remote control for the 3 screens. It's a little bit of a challenge, this one. And I'll just try and zoom out a little bit. The idea is to lift it up above the simulator so that all 3 screens can see the remote at once and they all fire up at once, which in this case they haven't. I've only got 1 start up. So what I'm going to do is hide around the corner here a little bit, try and turn that one on, and do the same thing for that screen there. The risk is that if I get it wrong, the other screen will turn off, which does happen. But now what I have is all 3 of those screens are coming up. I'll just put the remote control back down there. Okay, so now the Elite side has started up. What we have on the screen is Elite SCADA Client. Essentially what this is a remote control session into the Prepare 3D computer. So that's allowing this computer, the Elite computer, to control the Prepare 3D side. That's all this does. What we need to do is click on Visual 1 and Prepare 3D Visual. We're going to click on Start. What that does is that gets the Prepare 3D computer to load the Prepare 3D software ready for our simulation. What I'm going to do here is just wait until the Prepare 3D application starts on the main screens. And you'll know when it's ready. It takes a little bit to load some terrain data. And once it's showing on runway 27 at Mildura, we know that the Prepare 3D side is ready to rock and roll. The next step is to go to the desktop, and there is an icon called Elite FIP. Double click on Elite FIP. It's going to come up with a module selection. We want to select Prepare 3D Visual. That tells Elite to talk to the Prepare 3D Visual computer. Now, it gives us this rearrange panels screen. Do not touch any of these, do not move anything around. This is the way it should be, M1, M2 and M3. If there are any issues with this and it's not as it shows on this video, please call Andrew. We're just going to say take it. Now what we have is the Elite software firing up and communicating successfully with the Prepare 3D side. You'll notice that the cockpit now, the screens are initializing into the cockpit instruments, and the G530 is initializing as well. So that takes a few seconds, but what it's actually doing on the main screen here is asking us which aircraft we want to fire up. What I'm going to do now is start the Cessna 172. And I'm just going to select choose. We do have the choice of other aircraft there, and now it's asking where we want to fly. We don't want to fly in New Zealand, so we're going to leave Australia checked and select choose. Now what will happen is the screen, the Prepare 3D screen, will make a bit of a fuss, and our cockpit, now we're facing down the guts of runway 27. And screens in the cockpit have come up. One has, that's the instruments, and the G530 should be coming up as well. Now it thinks it's at night time, so we can change those settings. This is the screen, this is the instructor's screen. So what we can actually do is go down to menu down the bottom, and we can modify, we can configure, we can change meteorology. I'll go into that in a later time. If you do want to change the airport that you're flying out of, you can go to Repos and select from here. Select from this wide list of where you want to go. Let's say we want to fly out of Moorabbin today. We can scroll down to YMMB. YMMB, somewhere on here. YMMB, let's go 17 left. Now if we double click on that and click on select, that's going to reset the visuals to runway 17 at Moorabbin, and it is at night time now. So there we go, we're in Moorabbin. Now if we want to get going on our simulation, this is making a bit of a liar out of me because our G530 needs to be turned on. We need to click that to the on position there, I believe. Maybe I have an issue that I don't know about. So let's just say the G530 is not working at the present moment. Now, we're sitting in the cockpit, ready to rock and roll. How do we get it going? You'll note up the top left here, it says freeze. There is a button just here called freeze, and if we hit that, you'll start to hear the engine. Oops. Okay. Now, we just need to press freeze once more. Park brake is on now, it says park brake. Park brake is down here, just behind the yoke. So if you press that, and now we give it full power, we're able to fly. So we're taking off now. So the main thing to remember in the cockpit is freeze button, which is just here, and the park brake button, which is hiding down there behind the yoke. One thing to remember is don't put your feet on the brakes when you're trying to take off. Now we're up and away. So those of you that do know what you're doing with a G500, G530, the screen here will be working. At the present moment it's not. I'll be doing some troubleshooting to find out why that is, and I'll come up with a new video. But all of these items are serviceable now, and you'll be able to use them. We're going to get CASA to certify the unit as well. Now let's pretend we want to shut down. We've had enough of flying. So what we're going to do is quit out of Elite. So going down the bottom here, clicking there, and we're going to select quit. Now that's the Elite side clicked and turned off. What we now need to do is click on Visual 1 on the SCADA client. Going across to Prepare 3D Visual, we want to stop Prepare 3D. So you can see that's gone back to the Windows screen for the Prepare 3D side. Now we'd like to shut down the Prepare 3D computer. By clicking that, it's shutting down the Prepare 3D side. And you can see it's gone yellow, which means it's now offline. And now what we do is we click Start menu, shut down, and the Elite computer shuts down as well. So once both computers are off and the lights are off on those units, we can turn off the power at the power board. Last but not least, let's turn off these screens. Let's see if we can actually get it in one go here. So holding it nice and high, I think I got 2, but not 1, so I'll just have to whip around the corner there. Now all of those are off. And that's how we get going and shut down the new, improved Mildura Aero Club simulator.